he was assigned to the 323rd MP Company of the Ohio Army National Guard. After that, he enrolled in the police academy, receiving an associate's degree in law enforcement and corrections, as well as a certification as an Ohio peace officer. Training 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks active duty a year, he completed missions to Nicaragua and Panama. Then, the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001 occurred. Suddenly, the rules had changed. He was about to become a prime example of what is typical of this latest generation of veterans and the sacrifices they make. Shortly after the attacks, his unit was activated and deployed to Fort Bragg, North Carolina for a period of 1 year in support of Operation Noble Eagle to replace its unit members being sent overseas. Returning home for just 4 months, the 323rd MPs were again called to active duty and this time deployed to Iraq as members directly involved in Operation Iraqi Freedom. While in Iraq, he was assigned as a combat support MP team leader and attached to the 16th MP Brigade. They provided combat patrols, installation and site security in support of the new Iraqi army. He returned home in December 2003 and met his 6-year-old son for the first time.
6 months.
During his tour of duty, he achieved the rank of sergeant. Today, he resides in Bluffton with his wife Amanda and now 8-year-old son Aiden. He continues to serve and protect this community we call home as a full-time officer of the Bluffton Police Department and as a volunteer firefighter and emergency medical technician. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to you Chad Couples.
Good morning. First, I would like to thank the Bluffton American Legion Post 382 for inviting me. As a lifetime resident of Bluffton, I'm honored to have been chosen to address you on this solemn day. Memorial Day is a time for honoring and remembering those who have made the ultimate sacrifice and giving their lives while serving in the armed forces. The honor and pride of service is a value that has been instilled upon me by my family. My grandfathers, Robert Dillman and Arlo Dean Couples, were both veterans of World War II, and my father, Jerry Couples, a veteran of the Vietnam era. These men shaped my life and inspired me to make the decisions to serve in the armed forces. My family history of service gave me a feeling of pride. I am proud of my grandfather's service, and I am proud of my father's service. And I am proud to have served the greatest nation in the world. Like Mr. Wagner said, I joined the Army when I was 17 years old. Between my junior and senior years of high school, as my friends were being kids, I completed basic combat training at Fort McClellan, Alabama. Before graduating high school, I had already accomplished something that less than 1% of my generation would even pursue, and I'd become a soldier. I came home to finish high school, and after graduation, went back to Fort McClellan for military police training. Being assigned to the Ohio Army National Guard 323rd Military Police Company in Toledo, training 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year, as I went to college and earned my degree in criminal justice and my state certification as an Ohio peace officer. While with the 323rd, I deployed to Panama, where we were prepared to return the canal to the Panamanian government, and to Nicaragua, where we helped rebuild after Hurricane Mitch. After 9/11, we spent 1 year on active duty in support of Operation Noble Eagle, and were stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, where we provided site security and law enforcement as the MP unit there deployed to Afghanistan. Shortly after that deployment, we were again mobilized and sent on another year of active duty, but this time deployed to Iraq in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. While in Iraq, we conducted combat patrols, site security, convoy escorts, enemy prisoner of war detention, provided a quick reactionary force for units in our area, and assisted with security and training of the the new Iraqi Army. Since I was so young when I joined the Army, I had to grow up very fast, and I learned some valuable lessons. One of the things soldiers learn and must live by are the Army's core values. They are loyalty. Bear true faith and allegiance to the U.S. Constitution, the Army, your unit, and other soldiers. Duty. Fulfill your obligations. Respect. Treat people as they should be treated. Selfless service. Put the welfare of the nation, the Army, and your subordinates before your own. Honor. Living up to the Army values. Integrity. Doing what's right legally and morally. And personal courage to face fear, danger, or adversity. Now, these 7 values will prepare you for your mission, whether it's a mission of peace or combat. The lives of the men and women next to you depend on you living these values, but they won't prepare you for everything. And nothing can prepare you for the sacrifices soldiers have to make. Soldiers sacrifice time. Many days, months, and sometimes years are spent away from home for training and missions. Between 9/11 and December 2003, I was home for about 4 months altogether. This causes you to also sacrifice family and friends. I've missed birthdays, family gatherings, holiday celebrations, and most importantly, the birth of my son, Aiden. Although I missed being with Aiden the first 6 months of his life, I was eventually able to return home to my family. The soldiers that made that ultimate sacrifice and lost their lives in battle were not. These are the men and women we are remembering today. I wear a black metal band around my wrist that reads, PFC Nathan Eastall, U.S. Army Ranger, C Company, 2 of the 75th, KIA 21 September 2004, Iraq. Private First Class Stoll was a 20-year-old infantryman assigned to 2nd Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment at Fort Lewis, Washington. A native of Highland, Indiana, Stoll enlisted in the Army in June 2003 and was assigned to the Ranger Regiment in January 2004. Private First Class Stoll was killed in action on 21 September 2004 while on a combat patrol in central Iraq after an improvised explosive device detonated near his vehicle. He was posthumously awarded the Bronze Star Medal and the Purple Heart. Wearing this band reminds me that those who gave their lives while serving our country should be honored every day, not just one day a year. I didn't serve with PFC Stoll, and even though I've never met him, he is my brother and truly lived the Army values. Another example of soldiers staying true to the Army values occurred on a hot summer day in Balad, Iraq, when a vehicle approached the main entrance of our base. The driver, seeking medical attention for his 3 children who had been badly burned when they had unknowingly been playing with an explosive material. The sergeant at the gate called for medical personnel to administer care. After some time, 2 doctors arrived and determined that the children required extensive and prolonged care for their injuries. And since the injuries were not immediately life-threatening and had not been caused by American military action, we could not care for their injuries, and ultimately the children had to be turned away and referred to a local hospital. After receiving the officer's decision, the sergeant, who had initially called for medical assistance, saw his own children in the faces of the injured and fell to his knees and wept. Our platoon sergeant consoled the grief-stricken sergeant right there in the sand. The soldier's embrace was captured in a photograph that immortalized the human cost of war. Those men are my friends and my brothers in arms, and I have never seen a more perfect example of respect, selfless service, and integrity than what was displayed that very moment. We learned that day that it's not only soldiers who endure pain and sacrifice during times of conflict. Those who call the battlefield home are especially susceptible to the sufferings of war. The Bible says, "Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends." The men and women of the armed forces put their lives on the line for us, so we can enjoy a life without fear. But freedom isn't free. It's paid for with sacrifices made by men and women in uniform. And as we enjoy this wonderful day, please remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice and gave their lives for their friends. Thank you.